look at them throwing their little victory party, popping champagne over what they think is your funeral. Oh, the lights are bright, the music is loud, the smiles are wide, and they're convinced, absolutely convinced, that they won, that you lost, that the game is over and they're holding the trophy. But here's what's eating you alive with quiet satisfaction right now. Here's what's making you smile in the shadows while they celebrate in the spotlight. They have no idea, not a single clue, not even a whisper of understanding that every step they took, every move they made, every decision they celebrated was exactly what you needed them to do. They're not standing in victory. They're standing in your trap. And the beautiful, poetic, absolutely devastating part, they think it was their idea. They think they outsmarted you. They think they escaped you. They think they defeated you. But you, oh you beautiful, calculating, patient genius, you know the truth that's going to hit them like a freight train in the dark. They didn't win anything. They didn't escape anything. They didn't defeat anything. They walked. No, they ran. They sprinted exactly where you wanted them. And now they're celebrating right on top of the X you marked months ago, years ago, maybe even from the very beginning. Welcome back to the game you never left. Or should I say, welcome to the realization that you were never playing their game. They were playing yours. Let's get something absolutely crystal clear before we go any deeper into this beautiful mess. For months, maybe years, maybe your entire relationship with these people, they thought they were the chess players and you were the pawn. They thought they were the directors and you were the extra. They thought they were the architects and you were the brick. Every conversation, every confrontation, every moment they put you in your place or showed you who's boss or taught you a lesson, they walked away feeling like champions, like strategists, like winners. And you let them feel that way. Not because you were weak, not because you were defeated, but because you understood something they never could grasp with their amateur minds and fragile egos. The person who looks like they're losing is often the person who's actually setting the board. The person who appears to surrender is often the person who's actually repositioning. The person who seems to walk away empty-handed is often the person who just placed the final piece exactly where it needs to be. And now, right now, in this moment, they're celebrating what they think is your loss, while standing in the exact position you needed them in, the exact location, the exact mindset, the exact false sense of security, the exact vulnerable exposure. And the clock? Oh, the clock is ticking. Not against you anymore, against them. And they're too busy celebrating to hear it. Because here's what happened that they're too drunk on fake victory to understand. When they pushed you out, you were already planning your exit. When they rejected you, you were already done with them. When they chose someone else, you already knew that person was exactly who they deserved. When they moved on without you, you were already 3 steps ahead building something they couldn't even imagine. When they left you behind, you were already running toward a destination they'll never reach. Every single thing they think they did to you, you allowed to happen for you. Because you're not reactive, you're strategic, you're not emotional, you're tactical, you're not playing checkers. You're playing chess while they're still trying to figure out which way the pieces move. And oh, the celebration. Let's talk about their celebration. The posts, the pictures, the stories, the subtle digs, the not-so-subtle victories, the whole performance designed to show you, to show everyone, that they're thriving without you, that they're better off, that they upgraded, that they won. Look at them gathering their audience, collecting their likes, harvesting their validation from people who don't know the full story, who weren't in the room, who didn't see what really happened behind closed doors. They're building their narrative, crafting their victory speech, writing their version of history. And you're quiet. You're watching. You're waiting. Not because you're hurt, not because you're plotting revenge, but because you know something that's going to age like the finest poison. Their celebration is happening on your terms, in your timeline, within your plan. They think they're free. They think they escaped. They think they got away with something. But really, truly, they're exactly where you needed them to be, away from you, distracted by their false victory, lowering their guard, showing their true colors to everyone watching, revealing their character in high definition, proving everything you knew about them but never had to say out loud. Because when you're truly strategic, you don't expose people, you let them expose themselves. You don't destroy people, you let them destroy themselves. You don't prove who they really are. You create the conditions where they prove it themselves, to everyone, in a way no one can deny or defend. Let's dig into the mechanics of this beautiful disaster they're calling success. See, when they won, what exactly did they win? Your absence? Congratulations. They got exactly what you wanted to give them. Distance from toxicity. Your silence? Amazing. They earned exactly what you were ready to offer. Peace from their chaos. Your replacement? Perfect. They found exactly who matches their energy. Someone at their level. Your indifference? Brilliant. They achieved exactly what you were cultivating anyway. Freedom from their weight. They think they took something from you, but really, truly, devastatingly, you gave them exactly what they were worth. Nothing they have now is something you wanted to keep. Nothing they celebrate now is something you miss. Nothing they gained is something you lost, because you can't lose what you were ready to release. And here's where it gets psychologically delicious, where the poetry of your strategy reveals itself in full color. They're celebrating the end of something. You're celebrating the beginning of everything. They're looking backward, telling stories about how they dealt with you and moved on from you and survived you. You're looking forward, building empires they can't even pronounce, creating realities they can't even imagine, becoming a version of yourself they won't even recognize when they finally look up from their party and see what you've become. Their victory is about subtraction. Your victory is about multiplication. Their celebration is about what they escaped. Your celebration is about what you're creating. Their win is defined by your absence. Your win is defined by your presence. Everywhere they can never reach. Think about the timeline for a second. Really think about it. How long did you watch them? How long did you study them? How long did you observe their patterns, their weaknesses, their tells, their cycles, their predictability? They thought you were just existing in their world, reacting to their moves, responding to their decisions. But you were doing something infinitely more dangerous. You were learning them, downloading their operating system, mapping their psychology, understanding their triggers, their fears, their insecurities, their methods, their limits. And all that time, all those months or years, you were building a profile. Not for revenge, not for retaliation, but for strategy. Because you knew, eventually, you'd need to know exactly how they think so you could predict exactly what they'd do. And you did. You predicted it perfectly. You knew they'd take the bait. You knew they'd make the move. You knew they'd choose the path. You knew they'd celebrate the outcome. Because you know them better than they know themselves. You understand their ego better than they do. You see their patterns clearer than they ever will. So when the moment came, when the opportunity presented itself, when the situation aligned, you didn't force anything. You didn't manipulate anything. You simply created the conditions and let their nature do the rest. Like setting a trap in the forest and letting the animal's instincts walk it right into the snare. You didn't chase them into it. You didn't push them into it. You just knew they'd walk into it because that's what they always do. That's who they are. Predictable, readable, exactly where you knew they'd be. Now let's talk about what they don't see yet, what they won't see until it's too late to matter. While they're celebrating their victory over you, they're actually celebrating their isolation from you. And at first, that doesn't sound like much. At first, that sounds like exactly what they wanted. But here's the thing about cutting off access to people who are actually adding value, actually providing stability, actually offering genuine energy in a world full of fake everything. You don't feel the loss immediately. You feel it slowly, gradually, in small moments, in quiet realizations, in situations where you reach for something that's no longer there. They're going to reach for your loyalty and find betrayal. They're going to reach for your honesty and find lies. They're going to reach for your peace and find chaos. They're going to reach for your consistency and find disappointment. Because here's what you represented in their life that they won't understand until you're truly gone from their world. You were the standard. You were the bar. You were the reminder of what real looks like in a world of facades. And now that you're gone, now that they're free from you, now that they're celebrating without you, they're surrounded by exactly who they deserve. People who match their energy, people who mirror their chaos, people who operate at their frequency, people who will treat them exactly how they treated you. And that is the trap they're celebrating inside of. They think they upgraded, they think they evolved, they think they moved on to better. But really, they downgraded to equal. They devolved to familiar. They moved on to exactly what they are. And you? You moved on to exactly what you're becoming. Here's where your strategy reveals its true genius, where the depth of your patience pays its most beautiful dividend. You didn't just let them go. You didn't just walk away. You didn't just move on. You positioned yourself so perfectly that their victory became your verification. Their celebration became your confirmation. Their success became your evidence. Evidence of what? Evidence that you were right about them all along. Evidence that your assessment was accurate. Evidence that your decision to detach was the right move. Evidence that everything you saw, everything you felt, everything you knew in your gut was correct. They're out there proving you right with every post, every story, every celebration, every choice, and they have no idea they're doing it. See, when you're truly confident in your read of someone, you don't need to convince anyone else. You don't need to explain, you don't need to expose, you don't need to defend your decision to distance yourself. You just let time do the work. You let their actions speak. You let their choices reveal. You let their celebration show everyone exactly who they are, what they value, how they move, who they become when they think they won. And the beautiful part? You don't have to say a word. You don't have to throw a single stone. You don't have to fire a single shot. You just have to step back and let them perform. Let them show out. Let them celebrate. Because the bigger their celebration, the louder their exposure. The more they boast, the more they reveal. The harder they flex, the clearer their character becomes to everyone watching. And people are watching. Oh, they're definitely watching. Not just you, everyone. The audience they're performing for is taking notes, mental notes, seeing patterns, noticing inconsistencies, questioning narratives, watching how they move in victory, how they treat others in success, how they behave when they think they're winning. And slowly, quietly, inevitably, the people who matter are forming their own conclusions. The real ones are seeing through the performance. The wise ones are reading between the lines. The authentic ones are recognizing the energy. And your name? Your name might be absent from their celebration, but your presence is loud in the silence. People remember how you moved. People remember how you carried yourself. People remember your dignity, your grace, your quiet strength. And now they're comparing, contrasting, connecting dots. And the picture that's forming, it's not the one your celebrators intended to paint. Let's talk about the psychological warfare aspect of this, because that's really what this is, isn't it? Psychological chess at the highest level. They think they broke you. They think they beat you. They think they got the best of you. And you? You let them think that. You let them believe their narrative. You let them tell their story. You let them own their version. Why? Because people who think they've already won stop fighting. People who think they've already beaten you stop watching you. People who think they've already moved past you stop paying attention to your moves. And that is exactly when you make your real move. Not the move they see, not the move they expect, not the move they prepared for, but the move they never saw coming because they were too busy celebrating to notice you were still playing. This is Sun Tzu level strategy, and they're out here playing like amateurs. Appear weak when you are strong. You appeared defeated while you were repositioning. When you are near, make it appear you are far. You appear distant while you were observing everything. Attack where they are unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. They're celebrating in one direction while you're building in another. They're focused on the past while you're creating the future. They're telling stories about yesterday while you're writing the reality of tomorrow. And by the time they finish their celebration, by the time they sober up from their victory party, by the time they look around and realize the game is still going, you'll be so far ahead they won't even be able to see you anymore. Just your dust, just your echo, just the memory of someone they thought they knew. Now here's the part that's going to hit different, the part that's going to land in your spirit like confirmation from the universe itself. Every single person who's celebrating your loss right now, every single one, is about to learn the lesson you were trying to teach them, gently. The lesson they refused to learn when you were present. The lesson they mocked when you offered it with love. The lesson they rejected when you gave it with patience. But now they're going to learn it the hard way, through experience, through consequences, through the natural law of cause and effect. Through the reality that everything you warned them about, everything you tried to show them, everything you represented was actually protecting them from themselves. And now that protection is gone. Now that buffer is removed. Now that safety net has disappeared, and they're about to fall. Not because you pushed them, but because you stopped catching them. You were the balance in their chaos. You were the truth in their delusion. You were the mirror in their denial. You were the anchor in their drift, and they hated you for it. They resented you for it. They fought against you for it. They pushed you away for it. Because the truth is uncomfortable. Because mirrors show what people don't want to see. Because balance exposes imbalance. Because anchors prevent the drift that feels like freedom but leads to destruction. So they cut the anchor. They broke the mirror. They rejected the truth. They eliminated the balance, and now they're free. Free to drift, free to delude, free to spiral. Free to become exactly what they were becoming before you showed up. And you're free too. Free from the exhausting job of trying to save people who don't want to be saved. Free from the painful work of holding up people who refuse to stand. Free from the toxic cycle of giving to people who only know how to take. Let's get specific about what they're actually celebrating, because words matter and clarity is power. They're not celebrating growth, they're celebrating your absence. They're not celebrating evolution, they're celebrating your silence. They're not celebrating success, they're celebrating your distance. Their entire victory is defined by you, by what you're not doing, by where you're not present, by how you're not responding. Their whole celebration is a reaction to you, about you, because of you, which means you still have the power, you still have the influence, you still have the control. They just don't realize it yet. They think they're free from you. But really, you're still the main character in their story. You're still the reference point in their narrative. You're still the standard they're measuring against. Even in your absence, especially in your absence, you're the most powerful presence in their celebration. And that's going to eat at them, slowly, quietly, in moments they can't explain. They'll be in the middle of their celebration and suddenly feel empty. They'll be surrounded by their upgrade and suddenly miss your energy. They'll be living their better life and suddenly remember your value. They'll be posting their happiness and suddenly feel your absence like a hole in their chest they can't fill with likes, because you can't replace real with fake. You can't substitute authentic with performance. You can't trade genuine for temporary. They can try. Oh, they'll try so hard. They'll try to convince themselves that what they have now is better than what they had with you. They'll try to believe that who they're with now is an upgrade from who you were. They'll try to sell themselves the story that they won, they improved, they evolved. But the truth has a way of creeping in quiet moments, in honest reflections, in comparisons they can't help but make. Here's what's coming for them, like a storm they can't see yet, like a wave they can't hear building. The realization, the slow, creeping, undeniable realization that they didn't win anything, that they didn't gain anything, that they didn't upgrade anything. The realization that what they thought was victory was actually loss. What they thought was freedom was actually exile from something real. What they thought was moving on was actually moving backward to exactly where they were before you elevated them. And that realization won't come all at once. It'll come in pieces, in moments, in situations, when they need something you used to provide and it's not there. When they want something you used to offer and it's unavailable. When they reach for something you used to be and find emptiness. And slowly, piece by piece, moment by moment, situation by situation, they'll understand. You weren't the problem. You were the solution. And they just celebrated eliminating their own answer. But here's where your character shines, where your evolution separates you from them permanently. When that realization hits them, you won't be available. When that regret sinks in, you won't be accessible. When that understanding dawns, you won't be reachable. Not because you're being petty, not because you're being vengeful, not because you're being cold, but because you'll be so far into your new reality, so deep into your new life, so established in your new version, that their old world won't even exist in your universe anymore. You won't be ignoring them. You genuinely won't notice them. You won't be avoiding them. You genuinely won't think about them. You won't be hiding from them. You genuinely won't care about them, because you'll have evolved past the frequency where they exist. You'll have transcended the level